Time for tonight's rewrite. Okay, this one does have the feel of shooting fish in a barrel, but so does anything involving fact-checking Michelle Bachmann. In fact, the phrase shooting fish in a barrel could be replaced with fact-checking Michelle Bachmann, or better put, mistake-proving Michelle Bachmann, because finding Michelle Bachmann's mistakes is as easy or perhaps easier than shooting fish in a barrel, especially for those of us who aren't exactly handy with guns. And mistakes is a kind word when it comes to Michelle Bachmann. Many of the falsehoods she has spouted, such as healthcare death panels, must be lies because she must know that they are completely untrue. But many of the things she says are truly breathtaking demonstrations of ignorance levels previously unimaginable in a member of Congress or a graduate of an American elementary school, like when she said recently in a prepared text that the Founding Fathers ended slavery, obviously having absolutely no idea that the Founding Fathers deliberately did nothing to end slavery, and that it was in fact the 16th President of the United States who issued the Emancipation Proclamation and fought and won a civil war to end slavery. She got off another one of those American history things this weekend. In New Hampshire, she pandered to more than one audience by saying, quote, "You're the state where the shot was heard around the world at Lexington and Concord," end quote. The Lexington and Concord she was referring to, of course, are in Massachusetts, not New Hampshire, and unfortunately for her, there's no one in New Hampshire who doesn't know that. She said this on Friday night and again on Saturday. The question of how ignorant is Michelle Bachmann is now unanswerable. Just when you thought you knew, she comes out with something shockingly, and I don't use the word shockingly lightly, shockingly ignorant about Lexington and Concord, two of the most famous sites in the Revolutionary War. Now, what fascinates me more than the question of how ignorant is Michelle Bachmann are two other questions. One, how ignorant is Michelle Bachmann's staff? And two, how ignorant are her voters? Remember, Michelle Bachmann said this thing about Lexington and Concord twice. She said it on Friday, and then her brilliant staff allowed her to say it again. And remember, it's the same brilliant staff that allowed her to say the Founding Fathers ended slavery. That means Michelle Bachmann's staff doesn't know that the Founding Fathers did not end slavery, and they don't know that Lexington and Concord are in Massachusetts. How and where did she find congressional staffers who don't know that? I hereby promise you, based on my personal experience working in the Senate, that there is no other staff in the history of the Congress that does not know that Lexington and Concord are in Massachusetts. Who are these people who work for Michelle Bachmann? Who wrote that speech for her? Where does she find these people? There are many, many ignorant members of Congress and many ignorant senators, but they are protected all day long from revealing most of their ignorance by staffs who are hundreds of times smarter than they are. Perhaps all of Michelle Bachmann's staff come from her district, which may be the most ignorant congressional district in America. In 2010, 52% of that district voted for Michelle Bachmann to represent them in Congress. Now, she had already proven time and time again to her district and to America that she is unworthy of representing any congressional district in America. But 52%, the same percentage in that district who voted for John McCain for president, voted for Michelle Bachmann in 2010. What makes those voters so ignorant? Well, for starters, they are whiter than the average district. 92% white, in fact. But that explains nothing. Missouri's 8th congressional district is 91% white and has been represented by Joanne Emerson since 1997. We do not have a litany of imbecilic comments by Congresswoman Joanne Emerson. In fact, we have none. If we've missed any, please submit them to our website, thelastword.msnbc.com, and we'll see if they compare to Michelle Bachmann's. The median income in Michelle Bachmann's district is $68,000, which is roughly the equivalent to the median income in Barney Frank's district, $66,000. So the money explains nothing, because Barney Frank's intelligence and expertise in public policy, not to mention his wit, is second to none in the House of Representatives. So those income levels in Michelle Bachmann's district are not the explanation for why her voters are so ignorant. And so tonight, I surrender. Since I have no answers, I will leave you only with questions. Question 1, how ignorant is Michelle Bachmann, and how did she get that way? And remember, this is a graduate of Winona State University and Oral Roberts University's Coburn School of Law. Law school graduate. So do not overlook her academic achievement in trying to explain this. Doesn't make it any easier to explain. And 2, where does Michelle Bachmann find her shockingly ignorant staff? And 3, perhaps most important of all, what explains the rank ignorance of the 52% of the voters in Minnesota's 6th congressional district? Good answers to any of those questions will be used on this show, and of course, you will get full credit.